friends. We are going to look at spheres today. Spheres is the mathematical word for a ball, essentially a 3D circle. Okay, so we have our formulas. So the surface area of a circle is 4 times the area. We know the area of a circle is pi r squared. Well, if you want to know all the outsides of this, it ends up being 4 times pi r squared. This is just kind of nifty.
Our first step is...
So she draws the size of the circle, size of the orange.
It's okay if your circles aren't drawn perfectly.
She peels the orange. So she has 4 of them. She peels the orange, and she ends up putting all the pieces...
Also, you want to make sure that there's no...
in her circle. So she's halfway peeled. She's covering it. She's going to get all the way done.
I'm starting to work on the whole surface to cover those circles.
Isn't it nifty?
So...
Just the fact that it takes 4 is just kind of cool. Okay, so surface area. We're just going to use that formula again and again and again. 4 times pi r squared. So 4 times pi, 14 squared. We can leave all of these in terms of pi, so I'm not going to put pi in my calculator. I'm just going to do 4 times 14 squared is 784 pi, and that is going to be, this is area again, so centimeters squared. All right, 4 times pi r squared, so 4 times pi 11 squared. The diameter is 22, so the radius is 11. 4 times 121 is 484 pi meters squared. Solve for the indicated values, leave in terms of pi, so the surface area, 4 pi r squared, 4 pi 9.6 squared. This is going to be messy. 4 times 9.6 squared. So one way to look at this is 368.6 pi. If I make that into a fraction, it's going to be 19216 over 25 pi. Or if I just go ahead and multiply that times pi, the decimal form of this, I told you to leave it in terms of pi, so, but if you didn't, 0.5, 0.1 meter squared. All of these would be meter squared. All of these are correct answers. It's just the different forms, right? Fraction form, decimal pi, decimal form. All right, the diameter of the earth, it's about that many miles. What is the surface area of the earth? Well, that's interesting. I'm just going to choose a different color. Okay, so that's the diameter. So I need half of that. 7926 divided by 2. 3963 squared. Okay, square and then times 4 is 3282147.6 pi, which is an even bigger number, right? Because you got to multiply that times 3 essentially to get the surface area, and that's in miles. So nifty. The surface area of a sphere is that. What's the radius? What's the diameter? So we are working backwards on this one, my friends. 4 pi r squared equals 1200 pi. All right, we're going to divide both sides by pi. Luckily, we have both of them. So 4 pi r squared equals 1200. Divide both sides by 4. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. R squared equals 300. So the square root of both sides. Square root of 300. Square root of 300 is 10 root 3 or 17.3 centimeters. So the diameter is 34.6 centimeters. We just had to work backwards on that one. All right, volume. Volume is how much you can fill it with. It is not the outside, it is the inside. How many cubes can you fill it with? How much stuff is inside this, right? How much air is inside a ball? And it's technically in cubic measurements. Volume is in cubic measurements. And if you look at the formula, 4/3 pi r cubed, we are cubing the radius. So it makes sense that they are going to be, inches cubed, feet cubed, whatever it is. So let's see, 4/3 pi r cubed. And the r in this one is 9. So I'm going to do 4 divided by 3 times 9 cubed raised to the 3rd. I'm going to show you how I did that. 972 pi centimeters cubed. All right, to go to the third power with these. Where's my camera? All right, something to the third power is going to be like 5 raised to the third. All right. I think on the other calculators, it leaves it as like a little arrow up 3, but it is all going to be the same. And remember, you can do 4 over 3 in fraction form. So you could do 4 over 3, or you could just do 4 divided by 3. It's all the same thing, times 9. Cool. Hope that helps with your calculator. All right. 4/3 pi r squared. The radius is going to be half of 33, which is 16.5. So 4 over 3 times 16.5 raised to the third is 706 pi. I'm leaving things in terms of pi. What is the diameter of a sphere with a volume of that? All right, so 4/3 pi r cubed equals 2304 pi. All right, let's divide both sides by pi because that's the easiest one. Now, to get rid of 4/3, I'm going to times 3 and then divide by 4. So let's go ahead and just do our times 3, because that's a divide by 3, right? So 4r cubed equals 2304 times 3, 6912. All right, now divide by 4, divide by 4. R to the third equals 1728. Okay, now cube root. You have to, on all of these calculators, I'm pretty sure you have to put the 3 in first. So type 3 in first, and then go second, square root. So it's the square root right above the normal square root. It's got a little x by it. And we're going to do 1728. And I got 12 for the radius, which means the diameter is 24 feet. Cube root. Let me show you. You have to put in the 3 first. Second, that one with a little x. And then I did 1728, 12. The 3 will be in front, all right, to show that it's doing a cube root, not a square root. All right, a soccer ball has a volume of that inches when it is fully inflated. What is the radius? What's the diameter? Oh, this one's going to be fun. 4/3 pi r cubed equals 350. All right, so we're actually going to have to divide by pi itself because there isn't a pi in there, right? So divide by pi gives me 4r3 over 3 equals 350 divided by, pi is about 11.4. And then times 3 is 4r cubed equals 334.2. All right, now divide by 4. R cubed equals about, it's 83.556. I'm going to leave it in my calculator and not round to the very, very end because now I want to find the cube root of that. So I'm going to go 3, second, cube root. I'm going to arrow up to bring down my answer. So 83.5563 gets me a radius of about 4.4. If your rounding is a little bit different, not a huge deal. 8.8 inches. Challenge. What is the volume of a sphere with a surface area of that? All right, here we go. We know the surface area is 4 pi r squared. And so that equals 804.2. So we got to find the radius, and then we're going to use that radius to find the volume. So I got to divide by pi and divide by 4. I'm just going to go ahead and divide by 4 pi because I'm being lazy. 804.2 divide by 4, divide by pi. R squared equals 63.996. Square root of that is about 8. R is about 8. So now I can find the volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi 8 cubed 4 over 3 times 8 raised to the third is going to be about 682.7 pi. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that times pi so you can see the other version too. Is about 2,144.7, what are we talking? Cubic feet. Cubic feet, because it's volume. Cool. We had to undo it to find the radius and then redo it. Okay, your homework is a mix of everything. Okay, so we've got spheres, we've got pyramids, we've got all the things. The only thing you need to find the volume of, though, are spheres, right? We haven't talked about volume of anything else. So everything else is review of surface area. So a pyramid surface area is going to be 1 base plus perimeter times slant height divided by 2. A cone surface area is going to be 1 base pi r squared plus pi r L. A prism, 2 base times perimeter times height. Triangle, 2 base times perimeter times height. Cylinder, when you have 2 bases, that's 2 times pi r squared plus the circumference times the height, right? This is pi diameter, and this is pi r squared. I think that helps. And then I've got some of you working backwards down at the bottom because that is also important to know how to do. Good luck.